I thought I'd do something a little different. In the past, when I do these beer reviews, I don't really talk about the labeling, the smell of it. Well, I do, but I don't really go into depth. But I'm going to do this something different. Since I already did a short on my initial taste of it, well, actually, my initial 45th time taste of this, I figured I'd just pour a glass of what this combat battle has in it and discuss what I think a little more in depth. We can talk about the label real quick. It's what you'd expect. You got the Spanish around there. It says Auténtico Orgullo Dominicano, which means authentic pride, Dominican authentic pride or something like that. I've been in Latin American countries for a great portion of my life, and I don't necessarily get Spanish very well, and there's some times when I can actually pronounce Spanish words correctly. But a lot of times, it's not like English where the adjective will come before the noun. Sometimes it does, a lot of times it doesn't. Spanish, it's the opposite. A lot of times it comes after the noun, but sometimes it comes before. Sometimes, not often, but these bottles here are the large bottles. And they got the regular, the 12 ounce. This one is, let's see. I want to say it's like a pint. I think it's a pint. I don't know. But it's the green label, or the green bottle. Doesn't have a twist off top. You have to actually get a bottle opener, use your teeth like a savage. You don't want to use your teeth, don't do that. But 100% naturalis, natural ingredientes. Cerveza tipo Pilsner. It's a Pilsner beer. It's not a German beer. I prefer German beer, but this, like I said, this is an 8 out of 10. So I'm going to pour some out. I'm going to probably pour it incorrectly for some out there. How dare you pour it out incorrectly? But let's tip the glass a little bit. Sometimes you'll hear people say tipping the glass sort of ruins the flavor or the smell, but we'll just I'll understand the Dominican Republic, pretty much the whole country, except if you're in the mountains or in some other temperate area. It's always hot. Always hot. And this beer is a great beer for hot weather. Initially, the smell is, it's fine. It's not overpowering like that second short I did today, Prima. Ooh, I poured that down the drain. I'm not going to do a review on that. That beer is, like I said, for the right price. And if someone, let's like for instance, you go to someone's house and that's all they have, I'll drink it. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to drink it, or I prefer water. I'll drink it out of respect, But if you look at the color, it's kind of golden. There's a lot of carbonation in it. That carbonation doesn't affect the taste at all. But again, the smell, it's not overpowering. It's great. There are some beers out there that, like, I would say Coors Light, I wouldn't say Miller Lite, but Coors Light, you could definitely smell not much, but you can get a little hint. This one's got a little more of a smell to it, but not overpowering. It doesn't burn off your nose hairs. It doesn't do anything like that. Unlike Bud Light, which I'm not a fan of for obvious reasons, but it's good. And a lot of times there are people that say they prefer 12 ounce Presidente over the taller Presidente. But honestly, it won't. Honestly, this bottle will not get warm by the time I'm done. I will plow through this many times in a sitting. Especially if I'm eating any of the food here. The croquettes. Those things are good, especially the salchicha croquettes, the sausage croquette. Oh, you have croquettes and that, especially if they're hot croquettes and you're outside, it's freaking amazing. You can't beat it. Or you're having some pork. They're very, here in the Dominican Republic, they're very good with pork. I've had a few of it, a few dishes with some pork and some plantains. I like the fried plantains. The greener the better, and if they're fried. My wife, on the other hand, likes them more yellow, cooked a little more, because with plantains you can't really. You can eat a green one, but you're going to pay for it. But you can eat the yellow ones, a little more sweet. They'll have more sugar in them. They have time to ripen a little bit. But I prefer them like the Tostinos. I think they're called Tostinos. You smash them down, you fry them in oil, salt. But I like them salted, but also like salsa with them, like Cholula or Valentina. Can't beat that with a stick. But drinking it initially out of the bottle, it was fine. But having it sit for a couple minutes, it's still good. There's still a lot of carbonation, even though it's, like I said, been open for 5 minutes. And it's good. I mean, you see Presidente in the States, and it has the same taste, honestly, in my opinion. Maybe it's a little different here because you're in the country of origin, but it's fine. It's, and going back to the label, I kind of like the wheat stock right there. It's kind of cool. It's like how some labels out there, there's a bunch of crap going on, especially craft beers. There's some guy with a battle axe, he's crushing a freaking Viking yacht or something, whatever, or Viking longboat, excuse me. But other than that, I mean, it's a good label. There's not a lot going on. It just tells you Presidente. In Spanish, it means president. Or, yeah, I think it does. We'll go with that. But it's just a good beer. I mean, like I said, it's an 8 out of 10. You go to any place here in the Dominican Republic, they will have this. You hope, But another beer you'll see people drink is Estrella Galicia. And I tried that in Panama, and it's a good beer as well. Can't beat it. I think it's a Spanish beer. Still a good beer, but I prefer Presidente a little more, maybe. But here, let's go ahead and knock this back and. Yeah, it holds its taste well into the bottle being opened for a while, and even when you pour it after a while, the head isn't ridiculous. It's what you'd expect, and I don't even know if that's a thing where people say, "Oh, there's too much head on it, you shouldn't drink it." Going back to what I was talking about, people, should you tilt the glass to pour it? There's a lot of people out there. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some aficionados out there who say just pour it in like this. The head on it is fine. You can let it just relax after a while. I don't really care. I will drink a beer if the head on it is like that big. I mean, I don't care. Not my problem. But ultimately, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, I prefer Presidente over, say, Busch Light, Miller, not Miller High Life. That's a different story. Miller High Life is, in the last couple of months, I've been, there's this old watering hole down the road from me, and they serve Miller High Life in bottles, and that's what I go there, and I'll have one or two, and that is what I will drink, Miller High Life. I just like it. Sorry. Sorry. But if they did have Presidente, I would probably choose, if they didn't have Miller High Life, Presidente would be my second one. And I guess in closing, it's a solid beer. It's an 8 out of 10, If you come to the Dominican Republic, have one. Have 14 of them. Probably not in a Chili's. I think they have Chili's, or maybe it was an Applebee's. Or is it TGI Fridays? Can't remember which one I saw. No, it was a Chili's down on the calle Winston Churchill, I think. And kind of the main drag in the city here in Santo Domingo. And yeah, I just, maybe I'm talking in circles here and heaping too much praise on it, but it's a good beer. It's solid. You can't go wrong. It's not, you don't wake up in the morning with an indigestion. I have bad indigestion in the morning. Not after I drink this. It's a solid. It goes with anything. Chicken, beef, pork. You can't beat it, especially here. So when you're here in the Dominican Republic, I fully endorse Presidente.